go ahead and start. Smudge it. Welcome in. Good morning. We're going to keep going down the rabbit hole. We'll start out with Alice in Wonderland. We're going to kind of see where else we go. If you jump on and have any questions, you can put them in the comments and ask. You want to book a reading or give me donations, let me know. I can give you the contact, my information. Let's see. Just gonna smudge these. Consolidate and concentrate are our themes, and maybe my theme of the last couple of weeks, especially the concentrate part. I've been consolidating a lot. Like years. For years. Waiting. Perfect timing. So now that things are consolidating, concentrating. Temperance, okay. There's a concentration. As far as consciousness, because there are conflicts, struggles. How do we dive in without getting too heavy first? This one that's on the other one, and I just open it to it again. So we'll look at temperance, and this one because the conflicts or the external pressures and circumstances and stressors, defensiveness, being on guard, or like anticipating something to happen, or like anticipating the worst. Well, those struggles are so real for so many people is why I guess we can talk about this one too. The indifference, or the indifference, the haughtiness, the arrogance, the assumptive nature. Try not to watch my neighbors. Because I have this open and picking up on stuff over there. Legal matters, challenges. But my neighbor's a cop, so. King of Oysters, do I want to look at that? I'm going to start with 5. You can kind of see here, like I said, if you jump on and you have questions, let me know. So King of Oysters as well. Temperament. I think a lot of the conflicts and the issues come out of the indifferences, or the, let's say, inability to cope with discomfort. I don't even want to say cope with, I kind of want to say live with discomfort. And a lot of people can't live with discomfort. Not that they can't, they just won't. They want to be immediately comfortable in the moment. Like, discomfort isn't bad. It could be, but that doesn't, that's a judgment. Is this good? Is this bad? Maybe that's where the temperance comes in the realm of neutrality and not succumbing to the judgments. There's kind of like a duality here, maybe. Masculine, feminine duality. Been picking up on that one a lot. And it doesn't feel like one I'm going to dive into because it's just so full of conflict where it shouldn't be. But people have their presuppositions and their judgments, or having to, this desire or urge to have to pick a side. Because if you pick a side, then you end up indifferent to the other side. Or, I don't know, people aren't getting along. It's interesting how these two are similar facial expressions. One's hats, one's coins, one's emotions, one's, it's like this one, he's like, he doesn't care if he creates any emotional distress or issues or whatever, he's fine. And this one, it's like, they're so, how did a friend put it this morning? Like financial traumas, that there's beginning to be an indifference to this emotional indifference, or like where masculine is often associated with like finances, maybe material gain, work, women more associated with emotions, drama. It's like there's, in this inverting dynamic, these roles are, it's not like they're switching, but because things have existed this way for so long, men are the emotional ones and women are these more business-oriented ones, more level-headed. But that's not, ooh, did that make somebody bad when I said that? Oh, it's not you this, do that, like, and then the arguments, and everybody wants to argue and point fingers, and then there's like a confusion between blame and accountability. Confusion, but we're concentrating, so they concentrate on what is most important, like it's kind of what's right in front of you, but it's also everything that's around you. All of the things are important. That integrated oneness and wholeness, that because there's still this perception or this perceived separation and indifference. Like working hard and nobody cares, or doing all this stuff for what? We're going through these cycles of doing all of these things to please these people who are never pleased, or it's like the greater they, where there's this interesting imaginary force or pressure pushing down upon our social constructs that create this empire or this reality. And as an art piece, I suppose, it created a business concept parliament as an imaginary empire. So interesting that the tangible empire is ran by imaginary forces, the imaginary they that we've been taught to fear, or like who's in control. It's a governing body, a corporation, an entity, not a person. But then in the like esoteric world, metaphysical world, it's inverted, right? There's not like a that they isn't an imaginary force. It's a real one, capital O-N-E, oneness, wholeness that interlinks everything inextricably, that native concept and tradition. I have my native deck. Do I want to pull it out? I mean, kind of. Okay, bear with me. I will. If I can find it. If I can't find it, I won't. But it just seems like there's something in there that I think might be relevant. Oh, good, right on top. Okay, let's look at that, because I think as the corporate entity imaginary structure crumbles or fails, as it is failing its society. It's broken. It doesn't work. We're being coerced, pressured to go back into nature to kind of uncover the more raw things. Ceremony, group, tradition, 10 wands. It's okay. I'm gonna look at King of Oysters, because this little white bunny rat is catching my attention, and maybe we'll follow this little white bunny rabbit down this hole. King of Oysters. He's king, so he's got it figured out. Oysters, it's a material, financial thing. Where are you? My finger hurts too, so my grip on things is a little different right now. Where are you? It's like it's hiding. It's fine. Okay. I'm gonna smudge you in here in a minute. Smudge that native deck. Needs it. Just has some things tied to it that really relate to community, tribes, and there's just a lot of again, just confusion in there, because words mean different things to people, and people are attributing specific meanings to words that are direct and don't need meaning attributed to them. So it's confounding things. A person of grace and charm with natural leadership and business abilities, intelligent, loyal, and successful, courageous, punctual. Okay, so let's follow that. I'm just gonna trust my judgment in this one. Because that's what it feels like, is courage. Oh, they have an upside down card. A couple of them. What? Flamingos, overcoming things, emotional fulfillment. Interesting that like a lot of parallels, synchronicities. As far as like storytelling goes, okay, she pops out. You got all this conflict. Let's look at her. 8. So this infinitum. And these flamingos, I believe, are related to swords. I wanted to say wands, but they're swords. It's a suit of battle. Beneath the surface, there's friendship and other major relationships. 8. Censure and censorship. Bad news, temporary bondage, person dominated by another person or by a situation, making one's own. Prison, sickness, conflict, or severe disaster. Are you being censored right now? do you have to watch what you say and how you say it, because people, maybe people you don't know, but know people you know might be watching you and like collecting information about you to give to other people to try and censor you or silence you or control what you're saying, doing, thinking, feeling. When people are doing that on purpose, it's very covert. That's why I think it is very difficult for people to pick up on, but like why abuse makes people sick, or how autoimmune disorders are related to these external stressors and pressures or these abusive situations. And the swords went out on this one. You got this flat card guy down here on the ground, and it's like, if you continue to participate in this battle, in this realm of censorship, ultimately it can kill you. But I think that's why all that censoring stuff is there, to try and to take you down. A pain that feels like a violent death, a mental death, ruination, mental anguish, guilt that cannot be reconciled, trouble and misfortune. Let's look at the opposite side of these, because we're going down a rabbit hole and we're going to look at the inverted side of things, and Alice in Wonderland kind of gives us the opportunity to do that as far as archetypical reconciliation, huh? So if we're going to skeleton in the closet, so the reason why somebody is censoring you is because they have something that they're hiding. There's a skeleton in the closet that they don't want to come out. The industriousness is probably what they're using to cover or to distract from that closet door. Like, look over here, look over here. No, don't open that door. Look over here. Go down this hallway. Go down this maze. Or there's like a like forcing people to interact with things in a certain way to like mislead them, is what it feels like. Look at the shiny light, like casinos are notorious for this, to get them stuck inside, right? So they can continue to exercise their exploitation over people's finances, basically. Depression or disquiet, an accident, possibly fatal. That's where this one goes to, those fatalities. I mean, it might not have, I don't know. Sometimes things can just be taken too far, especially in the realm of destruction. People get carried away when they don't necessarily mean to, or things will pick up more momentum maybe than you had anticipated, and then things kind of snowball out of control. It takes a while to build up to, but once they start snowballing out of control, it goes rather quickly. So slow down. That's that consolidate part and that concentrate part, and slowing everything down. I have a hard time slowing down, because you start to experience and feel all this discomfort. We're in this environment, this world where things are go faster, fast, make, much, like, how much can you make, how fast can you make it, like, please, like, this, erratic chaos. It's draining and overwhelming, but people feed it. A victory won at excessive cost, a moment of sometimes standing in your power can come at a tremendous cost. Oh, the Perseid meteor shower. Within the last couple of days, I was looking up the Perseids and what they mean, and what are, like, originally they're what? St. Lawrence's tears. If you look into St. Lawrence, patron saint of, what did it say, cooks, chefs, and comedians. About that. And standing in your power. Oh, the sacrifices. They laugh. The amount of sacrifices you'll have to make to stand in your own power and be wholly you and present to that is going to be overwhelming. That's why people don't want to do it. They don't want to make those material sacrifices. Mostly they want the immediate comforts. So having to be uncomfortable for a little while can be a big turn off for people. Let's smudge that, and then we can look at some more of these here. If you have questions, let me know. I don't think you do. If you're in the space this morning, it's like your own question. It's not really like a I don't know, I feel like I have to talk people off the ledge. Temperance. Let's see. I do have sage I can bundle for you. Make me your offer. I got a lot of it. Lakota. That's where it comes from. Lakota's been really strong energy in this space. Maybe something worth looking into. Let's say dreaming or envisioning things that are a better future, or envisioning more creative outlooks and possibilities. We're not taught to do that. We're growing up in the age of the apocalypse. It's not really giving a lot of people a lot of hope. Thoughts create things. Really, it just seems like an easier way out, sort of taking accountability for the things that make us uncomfortable to create something that actually works or benefits the collective, something creative, not destructive. I'm going into the Art Oracle again. Because we're talking about creative futures. I'm taking that one from my grad school. We just started incorporating something that's focused, or like a creative futures focus. Let's shuffle these up a bit more before we go into it. Is there something else that I need to tell you here? In this Alice in Wonderland. We'll come back to, we'll look at these two here in a second. I'm gonna keep this guy kind of up here as our North Star and just stay like focused and centered on business and getting things done, being practical. It doesn't need to be emotionally processed at this time. we need to take practical measures. Emotionally process it in a sacred and safe space. Let's talk about the Queen of Pentacles, and then I'll pull into these archives for us. Queen of Peppermills. This is still a pretty new deck to me. She's got a cat, she's got mountains, kind of between worlds. She's standing in front of a portal to me. An honest and homey woman able to cure ills of the mind. The dark woman who is very secretive, sincere and charming, capable of love and affection. We can fix it here. We can fix it in this space. It's not impossible. You have to be open to the belief systems that will allow for consciousness to tap into the, maybe it's DNA code. I don't know, tap into the DNA code. Start activating energetics within us to heal things. Again, out of the apocalyptic mindset into the creative mindset. These two, right? You can step forward in business and heal the mind at the same time. I don't know, it's not healing the emotions, it's healing the mind, healing the psyche. The emotions are like the water current from our spirit body, external things that feed into that internal perceptive, something a little more complex. Okay, we'll look at this one. This one feels really appropriate as far as that goes. Wasily Kandinsky. Did we see him last time? I don't know. Okay, it's integral. It's integrating, doing things in a different way, but it can't really be done in a different way. I was reading something yesterday. Maybe I'll post it after this. I can't think of the name of the book or the page that I opened, but that feels relevant to this moment too. Transcend systems to find spirit, hear music through sight, begin with the dot. Where do you start? Like, connect the dots. Dot, 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 dot. See what takes shape. Not forcing, transcend systems to find spirit. So if we're in a current system, economic system, especially social system, that isn't working for you, it's not going to help to try to fight the system, or to try to infiltrate, or to try to become a part of it, to take it down from the inside out, or change it from the inside out. That's not how this works. Maybe at some point in the past it worked that way because people were figured in, social structures. Oh, look what we can do. But then that social structure collapsed and then rebuilt itself in such a way that it wouldn't collapse under those sort of pressures again. So we have to look at these things that we've already done, these behaviors that we already know how to do, because we're not going to come up with anything new in that regard. We just have to do the same things. I don't want to say expecting different results, but if you have a closet full of different pairs of shoes, and you're going hiking and you have on high heels, it doesn't make sense to continue hiking with those high heels on. Weird analogy. It makes more sense to go back to the closet and go find your hiking boots and then go hiking. What if I don't have hiking boots and I only have heels in a variety of colors? Don't go hiking. Go dancing. Transcend systems to find spirit. You have to pull yourself outside of that container, that job, that identity, the thing that you have done, have always done for however many years, however many decades, that program that you are conditioned to, that system that you have been bred into and playing into and feeding into. You can't find it to transcend it. Transcend. Overcome. Do we need to look at what transcend means? Maybe. But there's that trans word again. Transformation. It's evolutionary. Overcoming. It's like you gotta climb this mountain to reach the point, to reach the dot, to find that one concentration, that one focus, in order to, like that hole, like the rabbit hole, to come out the other side. Hear music through sight. That, again, trans-systemary thing. Wish I didn't hear music through sight. When I hear music, it creates a visual. Synesthesia, right? Synesthesia can be trained. There's a graduate student when I was an undergrad who was researching that, looking into that. I always thought that was really fascinating. One of those things that, again, has kind of led me back into this world. Begin with the dot. Okay. Let me see here. It's just doing something different, or not allowing, or not giving your power away, like not allowing the system to control your power. I know, right? Easier said than done. Be or go beyond the range or limits of something abstract. Typically a conceptual field or division. Surpass. Basically, I think you just have to open yourself up to things turning out and being in a way that's better than anything that we could ever comprehend for ourselves. I think this is how we explain God, right? It's stinky, so it's out there.
Yeah. It's got old fish in there.
Personal space, private space, boundaries. People constantly coming into this space, ignoring those boundaries, disrespecting those boundaries, trying to pull my focus and intention in other ways. Things, like, it's even as like simple as walking my dog. when trying to get point A to point B. So dot. Trying to connect the dots from here to there. Just want to go from here to there. And I just want to walk in this calm space. Here to there. That's it. I, without any other external attachments, can get from point A to point B unobstructed, unfeared, whatever. If there's nothing in the environment and it's just me. But we exist in an environment where there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of stimuli coming at us at any one given point in time. When we're walking the dog, we want to go this way. The dog smells something and has to go over here, or like the dog starts going this way and pulling this way. No, we're going this way, and the dog's like, we're gonna go this way. That resistance and that tension. I'm feeling that outside of that dog walking scenario in situations like this, where point A to point B, and these things are. And so it's taking a lot of energy to stay here. Just emotional energy. I'm exhausted. I'm not sure how to transcend this. Is that why we're here with? Bad truth makes good fantasy to be prolific, be versatile. Art is the methadone of the masses. This just feels even more confusing. We'll go back to Alice in Wonderland after this one. The future is big, bright, and shiny. Your balloon can't pop, but your pop can balloon. Learn the difference between camp and kitsch. Jeff Koons. Jeff Koons is one of my favorite. Like I don't know that I can really say that. The metal balloon animals. I see them all the time at, what is that, like Marshalls or something? Things aren't what they seem. We're gonna smidge again. We'll talk a little bit about Ai Weiwei, another brilliant artist. When authority says to be quiet, get a loudspeaker. Don't tell me no. Don't tell me I can't do it. Don't tell me I can't have a voice and I can't have opinions. Art must fight for freedom, or the whole world is a prison. So that's that transcendence part of it. Having to, like, be brave and fight for your voice. So there's, like, that struggle or that pull. Something in that resistance, but it's not. Some things are whole only when they shatter. I feel like my life is in a million different pieces right now. I just have stuff everywhere. Like things are just shattered. My whole world, everything I'd worked for up to this point within like the last, handful of years, all it has just been like it's been so long putting this puzzle together, and somebody came along and just like took it all apart. It's like when I was working at Marin's, like my second job. What a terrible, terrible company to work for. Just industry. So you have like the one shirt in the 5 different sizes and the like 5 different colors, and you have to board fold everything, right? So you spend like a good hour board folding the stable, at least, you know. It's all straight, all things are in size order, everything's all colored, everything's organized. Then some little asshole kid that comes in, you know, shopping with his mom. What does he do? Yes, this happened. He takes his arm and he goes across your whole board folded table. And all that time and energy you just spend on putting all that there. And then you have to do it again. But you don't have time to do it again because there are other things that need to be done. I've never felt like so hollow and solid at the same time. Whole. That's what I wanted to say. I feel whole, but a little hollow. Like there's this echo chamber. It kind of feels like a prison sometimes. Like a caged bird, but the door's open. My wings have been clipped before, so I don't know if I can fly. Or if my clipped feathers have grown back. But I gotta get out. Maybe that's part of the transcendence part of this. Like collectively, people aren't gonna really get it for another 100 years, so all the work that we're doing individually right now is setting up for a shift maybe that we're not gonna get to see the results of. Like we're planting the seeds that are, you know, that will create shade for our grandchildren. It's really, really important in the world. It's tearing down all the trees. Or like cutting down all of the trees to build the big house. I'm gonna cut down all the big trees to build myself a big house. You know what's been catching my attention a lot lately too are abandoned mansions. Big, giant, gorgeous homes. Just abandonment's coming up too. So let's talk about this one, and then we'll talk about our Alice peoples, because abandonment doesn't feel very good, especially if somebody kind of abandons you and your whole world shatters and kind of everything falls apart. And you realize at that moment all you really have is yourself. You don't need any of the other things or the people or the whatever, and as long as you have yourself and your wholeness and your you, and you can rely on that, and you can trust that your body's gonna breathe, and you can trust that you know, if something comes flying at you in a direction, your feet are gonna dodge it. You get to trust the code, the genetic code, and not the social code. I told you it would be a little heavy in here today. It's okay. That's not the right one. Where did you go? Let me look up this one because she's carrying a baby. It's a little piggy. Makes me think of my dog. I call her Pigment. Piggy. Where'd you go? It's funny how you can lose something or not see something that's right in front of you. You need to move things. You need to look underneath. What is this? Illuminati thing. I see you. I see you. Hmm. I have, it's telling me things right now. We'll talk about that. I just want to look in this little booklet here, and, they're like, no. Nobility, glory, great renown or respect, tradesmen or workers, fun with artistry. Yeah, you have to have fun, and it needs to be fun. This needs to go back to play. This needs to be playful. People taking things way too seriously where they shouldn't be taken seriously, and laughter is such a great medicine. All we can really do is laugh about it, laugh about this human experience, because these pains and these horrors that we're experiencing aren't new. The human experience keeps recycling these over and over and over and over and playing them out, and then we get caught up in these dramas of it all, and we miss the divine comedy of it all. The 7 layers of hell, going through the hell to figure it out. What else about laughter? Laughter is the key to manifestation. Laughter yoga. Our bodies are kind of stupid. Our mind can start laughing and our body will agree. Oh, this is funny. The tricky part is transcending that abuse trauma and that illness and that sickness, and logic should come from the heart. True simplicity takes a lot of concentration. Concentrate, consolidate, concentrate on the simple thing, the dot, the point, the most basic practical part of it. There's so many distractions to concentrate. It's a discipline. Kind of hurts the brain. It's not comfortable. You have to be fueled correctly. Food is really important. Water. What type of food and water? If you have questions, you can ask. Find utopia in a straight line. You know what we're talking about? Going from point A to point B. That peace, and going from here to there. And sure, the dog's pulling and wanting to go this way, but standing in that assertive power, holding that power, and getting there, overcoming that challenge. The utopia in the straight line, that's that parliament, that's that imaginary space. If you imagine it, if you think it, if you visualize the utopia in your brain, it can happen. And again, we're visualizing the apocalypse. Collectively, we're just inundated with zombie apocalypse and death and destruction and war. Transcend that, overcome the conflict. You have to fight your way through that battle, sure. Like when that stupid hypnotherapist was like, "You're this angry, I'm gonna walk you down this path of hell. When you get through this path of hell, then you'll be confident." The worst path, the worst road I've ever taken in my life. I wish I never went there. What an unnecessary detour. to get us to this point. We can get there here faster than going that way. Self-hypnosis, self-talk, neurolinguistic programming, the words that you're using, the meanings that you're attributing to the words that you're using. That being very mindful part, the being very authentic part, I think is important, because I think a lot of people in that masculine rage and that anger do things or say things they later regret doing. The consequences that come out of it are that snowball effect. But it's never okay to intentionally hurt people. But people feel justified in doing it all the time. You hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt you. My favorite one recently was hearing, I'm not gonna physically hurt you. But mentally and emotionally, that's supposed to be okay. There are really people out there that think it's okay to teach someone a lesson. You also contribute to humanity's Gesundungswerk. This word, I'll look that up. It almost reminds me of Schadenfreude. Make sure your rabies shots are up to date. Symbolism is just one ambulance ride away. I have conversations with my son about this one, because there have been instances where he thinks that it's okay, or there have just been instances where in his anger, I'm going to put it, if there's something I value above all else, it's my privacy and my right to personal space and to be alone. And it just seems like that's just consistently violated by certain people who get really close to me in life. And it's really frustrating. Really frustrating. I'm pretty annoyed right now. there's an 811 vehicle I just pulled up, making their laps. NB energy. What is that supposed to symbolize? Let's talk about this one. I'm gonna close this off for the day because I am annoyed and irritated. I need to just go, be away from people right now. Go take a walk or something with my dog. Gist and Kunstwerk. You may also contribute to humanity's Gist and Kunstwerk. I don't think it. This is cultivating conscious co-creative community and culture. To me, that's what that sounds like. Let me tell you what this is. Give the Wikipedia page. Gist and Kunstwerk. Literally, a total artwork. Total work of art. Ideal work of art. Universal artwork, synthesis of the arts, comprehensive artwork, or all-embracing art form, is a work of art that makes use of all or many art forms or strives to do so. Welcome to my art studio. We have guitar, a green screen, kick wheel, markers, collages, pens, bangs, social media. The term was developed by the German writer and philosopher K.F.E. Trandorf in his 1827 essay Aesthetic Order Lehre von Weltanschauung or Kunst, I don't speak German, or aesthetics, or doctrine of world view and art. The German opera composer Richard Wagner used the term in two 1849 essays, and the word became particularly associated with his aesthetic ideals. My research is the neurological implications of aesthetics and consciousness, and this totally resonates. In France, in 1850s, Violet Leduc was a proponent of integrating major arts, architecture, and minor arts like decorative arts. This led to a fierce combat with the Beaux Arts Academy in Paris, who refused Violet Leduc's educational reforms in 1963. In the 20th century, some writers applied it to the term of some forms of architecture, while others applied it to film and mass media. Interesting. It goes into like opera, arts and crafts, architecture, art nouveau even. Now I'm really curious. I'm gonna log. I think I'm gonna log that. And I'm gonna kind of go down my own little rabbit hole and start taking some notes. This one will make sense too, and then just kind of close off that like consolidate, concentrate theme for today. Because we found one about concentration, consolidation, perhaps, but concentration. No. Don't hide your dirty sheets in the washer. Concentrate on finding, not losing yourself in art. Decay can be a fertilizer for new ideas. And then it's all gonna come down. It's okay. It's okay to start over. people who would rather die than have nothing or to have to start over, and that breaks my heart. Those are social constructions that tell us that if we don't have those material things, then we are not worthy, we're not really living, our social construct is teaching us that we're not worth it individually, that we have to sell ourselves to a greater collective, and that's tough. Because there's this morphic resonance field where everything is collective in one, and we aren't separate. So to sell people this idea that they're separate, to try to tell them that they have to be one, that you're already one, that you have to separate yourself, or take yourself apart into all these little pieces to figure out who you really are, the wholeness of the whole aspect of life and love and all that fun stuff. If committed, stay committed. Posthumous recognition requires a paper trail. Use the daylight to face the night. Live to serve, serve to live. Invent the words to which to live your life. Make your own words. Great heights are best seen from your lowest point. Ooh, I have somebody I'm going to send that one to. If it takes shit to make bliss, I feel pretty blissfully. And if life's not beautiful without the pain, well, I'd rather never even see beauty again. As life gets longer, all will get softer. That feels pretty soft to me. Well, now that Alice in Wonderland Oracle to close this off carries on until this next one, please reach out to me for personal readings. I'm laughing because one of my last longer writing bursts is just feeling like I never be able to do anything right. I can't do anything right, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do to whatever, try to whatever, it's never right. Somebody will always come along and be like, you're doing it wrong. So this one, the right way. What is the right way? Consolidate, concentrate, and to transcend the social system. Learning to create what you desire. Okay. It's 21, introduces 2 or 3. This is the transformation guide. We're learning how to create what we desire. We're learning how to create it as we go. I desire something different than what exists as it is. And learning to create that. But cultivating conscious co-creative communities, if you know what that means, I'm like, biggest long ranger I know. And I center my life on co-creative art communities, co-creative community culture. Getting a pretty good perspective of it all from being on the outside of it, I think, is why it brings that balance and order into the chaos. How am I to get in? Asked Alice again in a louder tone. Are you to get in at all? Said the footman. That's the first question, you know. There was no doubt. Only Alice did not like to be told so. I think one of the hardest things for me to accept is that my path, whatever, is meant to be this one, whatever this is, and that not really meant to fit into the system as it exists. I don't even know why I bother. I don't even know why I try to fit in. A lot of the times I don't try to fit in. That seems to be a problem for some people. I'm happy as a clam. No, did I look up our little piggy here? She's got clams or oysters, but did I look at that? I'm well aware that I don't go in a straight line here. It's not meant to. You make the straight line out of it for yourself, because your straight line is different than mine. You have a different point and a different perspective. You're a different dot. I'm a different dot. But we can draw a straight line that connects us. You can get from here to there. Nobility, glory, great renown, and respect to the dead. Okay, fun with artistry. This is just fun. This is just having fun with artistry. Right way, having fun. The right way is the fun way. The right way is fun. If it's not fun, well, I'm having fun. Why are you having fun? Are you having fun? It's gonna get confounded and confused too. The Frog Woman really does get to the heart of things. When we're pondering how to make a life dream happen, or how we are to get in through or to the other side of whatever issue is facing us, we might wonder if we are meant to get in at all. We can spend a great deal of time pondering our destiny, wondering if something is meant for us, and sometimes giving it up to fate, or claiming that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Alice has a different approach. She doesn't ask if it's meant to be. She asks how it will be done. This practical approach may not seem so spiritual to some. We're not meant to go with the flow and see where life takes us. Here, Alice knows what must be done and sets out to discover how to achieve it. When this card comes to you, this is just what you must do. You gotta figure out how to achieve it. Oh, I put them away, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. That's these two. What's the big difference? I'm just wanting, I don't know, something about radical acceptance in there too. Do not wonder if something is meant for you, nor leave it in the hands of the gods. Instead, think of how it can be done. What practical steps can you take? We are one. Take that God energy and solve your problems, and stop waiting and relying on somebody else to do it, or taking that, oh, that's just how it is. Rape happens all the time, Kelsey. What's the big deal? Just get over it. Let it go. I don't even know what to say to people like that anymore. Just that blank stare. How can you approach the problem in order to solve it? Somebody else made a good point too. A lot of people don't want to solve problems because it's not comfortable. We have have to look at the problem. You have to acknowledge that there is a problem in the first place in order to fix it and heal it. And a lot of people go, I don't have a problem. I'm fine. I'm perfect. You're the problem. Right. You point out the problems. It's your problem. You deal with it. It just seems like a very common attitude. It's gross. There's always a way through to the other side, but passively waiting and waiting and waiting for it simply to swing open is not as powerful as actively figuring it out. Actively figuring out the puzzle and discovering how you're going to reach the other side. Patience pays, wait, good things will come. The consolidate, concentrate, just be you part is that part where there's action, where there's attempts at solving the problem, where there's conscientious actions directed towards problem solving. Concentrate, consolidate, and concentrate. Why are we consolidating and concentrate? Because we're trying to focus our energies on solving the problem. Solving lots of problems. Something about a solution. Creating a solution requires what, Mr. Chemist? Some sort of agent and a catalyst. What happens? So ask questions. Please ask questions. Ask me questions. I will answer them. Seek advice. Look again from a different angle. Think of the how. That's why you go to the transformation guide. Because I solve problems. Help you solve problems. Teach you how to solve problems and innovate. Wanting to get through to the other side of a situation, a desire to walk through a gateway or a life transition to become an insider rather than remaining on the periphery, wanting to have an impact, to be included, to be part of the activities and have influence on the world, a willingness to learn step by step, wanting to be involved with the community because we're gregarious species. Humans need other humans, and family and love and connection, and disconnected from each other. People aren't finding the connections between their own points. Frustrating, huh? Anything else here? We'll look at these two. What is the right way? Take 3 deep breaths before you answer that question when you're solving your problem. Eat flamingos. I believe we looked at that. Yeah, with censorship, right? With temporary bondage. Being dominated by a person or a situation doesn't feel good. This isn't like that, like, kink talk, whatever. This is, it just doesn't feel good when somebody's trying to dominate you. That's not equality. And people do really, really mean, horrible, awful things when they're trying to dominate. No, I'm not talking about sexual fetishes and kinks. 5 halves, and then I'm done, I promise. Partial loss, seeing the broken and ignoring the whole. Friendship without devotion, marriage without love, that which could be perfect yet isn't, an incomplete view of the world and of people. The hope of the future, a good companion, a reunion with old friend, or a truce with an old enemy. look to the whole. Can't see things as separate. Okay. I think that's all. Please reach out to me with questions and for readings. I can use some extra cash right now. I got a lot of time to do this work, open and available, but I can't reach out to you and do it for you. You have to make the time and energy investment, and you have to reach out to me. You have to do the work. You have to take the actions. You have to take the steps. I can help guide. But I'm not going to enable, and I'm not going to do it for you. Okay. Thanks, gang. See you next time. Bye.